with me here. We're almost started. Hey, what's up? This is Del Jones from the band PunkBordello, and you are watching the PunkBordello podcast. I want to thank you for being here, and I also want to mention that the next song that we release is called "Hotter." It releases on all streaming platforms May 6th of 2025, and you can find that early before release for $5 on Bandcamp. You can listen to it about 3 times before you'll hit a paywall. But that's just fair game. If you want to see it and download it before it releases, you can give us $5 or whatever you want to support the podcast, to support us as a band. And then you can also do the same with the next release, Take the L, which normally would be like June 16th. And that one would be $10 or pay what you want whenever or whatever you want to throw our way. But we want to thank you for being here, listening to the local underground artists, the heart of our city, our country. And when we sit down with this next guest, I really hope you enjoy it. Share it on your socials, help us grow. We have some really killer guests that are going to be coming up, and I'm really excited to do this podcast. So thanks everybody for watching. Keep doing that shit Chicago style, you know what I'm saying? All right. Oh, what happened? There you go. All
Hey,
right. I don't know what happened there, but hello everybody. Welcome to the Punk Bordello podcast. That intro video is a little outdated. What I would like to do is put the whole album up for Bandcamp, or sorry, on Bandcamp for $10 to pay what you want. Is it pretty much probably the end of June, maybe start of July, something like that. But I'll record a new intro and everything for all intents and purposes. That doesn't necessarily matter as much as my next guest, Elysium Nights. How are you guys doing today?
How's it going?
hey.
It's it's going quite well. It's going quite well. Busy, but it's a happy kind of busy. So I mean, let's dive right into it. What is your background? When did you both start playing music together? What was the last song that you guys released?
So we actually started meeting online. I just went on. I started posting my music on TikTok when I started posting music,
Uh-huh.
and he found it and he messaged me and we just started talking and never stopped. And then we kind of made a song together called Elysium, and that's kind of become like the song that's been the base of this whole brand, this whole company, and us. So yeah, just one thing led to another, and now he's here in Chicago, and yeah, it's been a crazy journey, but
Go ahead and tell us a little bit about that. Like what was the inspiration for Elysium?
It was honestly, I spent a lot of time listening to her individual music,
Uh-huh.
just vibing, and I really wanted to do a song with her,
Uh-huh.
really wanted to. And then one of my producer friends hits me up
Uh-huh.
and sends me a beat, and I'm like, oh, I happen to know the perfect female vocalist that I want on this beat. And I sent it to her, and we just both kind of went with the love song path, not even really like collaborating on it. She just sent
Uh-huh.
back what she had, like maybe 24 hours later, and
Uh-huh.
then yeah, it just exploded. It's one of our most popular, if not our most popular track that we've done, and
Awesome.
it's probably my favorite still.
Lovely, lovely. I mean, friggin' so I've had a little bit of trouble making the time because life gets in the way. So I haven't necessarily done all my the proper research on my guests, unfortunately. But I usually use that as an opportunity for you guys to describe it. Tell me about your influences. Sorry, I just there's a gate for my door and it just swung open. So it's a whole thing. But anyway, tell us about like your influences and like what gave you the sound that you guys are currently working with and what inspired like who inspired it.
So I'd say like what's the statement that we said before? That Elysium Nights is like it's like Kendrick Lamar and like Kelly Uchis and Noah Kahan like all mixed into one.
Okay. All
It's
right.
it's we're very big on like we're not necessarily trying to stick with one genre,
Mm-hmm.
but we definitely do have a like indie pop hip hop alternative sound, I guess,
Right.
to put it in the best way.
We just make the kind of music that we listen to, pretty much.
I always try to tell people that like it's always best to like labels come after, you know what I mean? You make it however it sounds in your head and however it comes together. I mean, some of the best shit that I've ever done has just been like accidents. You know what I mean? Like Bob Ross says, like happy little accidents. It's the same difference in music, in my opinion. And I mean, anytime I try to like put myself in a box to like make something specific, it never goes the way that I want it to. But whenever I just let it breathe and just let it be whatever it is, it comes out a lot more authentic and it comes out a lot more, just fluent. It just sounds better. The better shit that I've always done always ends up fucking coming from the place of just kinda letting it go and then judging it after, and don't get me wrong, like, they're not all winners, but, like, you know, um but anyway, you guys, have you done any performances recently?
Yeah, so we our next show is actually our anniversary show and party, and that's going to be at Goat Village in Norwich, May 23rd. Because on May 24th we're releasing an EP, and it's also our 1 year like anniversary of us dating. So like,
Oh, okay.
but when I went to Oregon to meet him for the first time, we played a show in Portland together, and that was the night we first started dating. So like, this year is going to be like the 1 year anniversary of that show, and we're going to do that show every year. So
Oh,
it's
that's awesome.
so yeah, that's basically it's more of a relaxed show. Like I want it to be like a party, you know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
Like, what
Yeah,
better way
no
to celebrate an anniversary between two musicians than
Yeah.
just perform? Like,
yeah, yeah, no, I hear that, I hear that all the way. I mean, that sounds really, really good. That's, like, quite a track, like, I mean, you guys just pack up the whole car? Do you guys I take it you're from Portland then?
originally, yeah, I live in Chicago now, but
Oh,
originally
okay.
originally from there, yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's interesting. What was the music scene like around there? Like obviously everybody thinks of like Portland and Seattle as like there's like these grunge cities, but it's like moved well away from that in the last like 10, 20 years, has it not?
I mean, yeah, I would say so. There's still definitely like a heavy like rock and alternative scene out there mostly. But like one of the biggest reasons why I actually moved out here was because the scene out there it just felt very stuck. Like the
Yeah.
unfortunate truth is that a lot of places got gate kept and like a lot of venues you're not going to play there unless you're best buddies with this guy or best
Yeah.
friends with this person. And when I first came to Chicago was in July of last year, and we played a show, or we played an open mic,
Uh-huh.
and from my experience in a bar with about the same capacity in Portland, if I had played those same songs, it would have finished a song and it would have been quiet. And that's just what I was used to. But coming out here, I played one song, and at the end of the song, the whole bar started clapping and cheering and going nuts. And I was like, "Whoa, like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is crazy." And then they loved it, and then they loved her whole set, and then we did a duo set at the end of that night too, and they loved that too. And so,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
go ahead. Sorry.
the support from the city, like, don't get me wrong, there's definitely some talented people out on the West Coast, out in Oregon. Shout out Jay Meest. That's my guy out there. But like, coming out here, experiencing the scene, experiencing the support, the love, like, it's unlike anywhere else.
And I definitely I gotta touch on that for a second, because that's like that's one of the reasons that I kind of, so to kind of preface this, I had toured kind of like, I moved everything, I mean, I took the clothes on my back and got like brought as much of my gear as I could to Austin, Texas when I was about 22. This was like 2018, I want to say. And this is like obviously like right before COVID. And the difficulty with that is that I spent a whole year and a half integrating into myself into the scene out there, just for COVID to completely kill everything. As soon as I finally got like the gigs, I got like 3 drummer for hire gigs, in like playing in South by Southwest shows, both official and unofficial. And then COVID just derailed everything. And like, we're having rehearsals in my living room. And for whatever reason, the only fucking time the news is on, it literally just says South by Southwest canceled. And we're all looking at each other like, so I guess we go home now. Like, uh, no point in doing this anymore, I guess. And so like rising from like the ashes of that, yeah, I spent another like year and a half, 2 years getting myself into, the next acts that eventually I'd go on the road with. But this industry is a shiesty one. So I got done over pretty hard. And the wild thing is, tying everything back here, I noticed that when I came back to Chicago, I had kind of taken it for granted, like the camaraderie, the atmosphere, like more of a sense of community that we have out here, especially when it comes to music. And I went to California, and it's all pay to play out there. I can imagine it probably ends up being similar, as you go further up the West Coast, like you were saying, because of the whole gatekeeper situation. And my little asterisk with Chicago that I gotta kind of make a note on, is that the gatekeepers here it seemed to have been a little bit more friendly. um, but the thing is like, I feel like there's like a balance with the whole thing, that like, one of the reasons why it seems like cover and tribute bands kind of dominate out here is, I mean, it's kind of an everywhere thing, but like, I feel like the gatekeepers who were holding the keys and everything, they weren't kind of vetting the talent a little bit better. And so they'd kind of just let anybody up there who either was promoting their shows or not. Or maybe, I mean, I played a lot of shows for promoters who didn't fucking promote at all. And it's like, bro, it's literally in the title of the job, dog. Like, like, you're sitting here like trying to charge us and like, oh, well, you didn't bring anybody. It's like, but what are we supposed to do? Like, nobody knows us. Like, it's this catch-22, and I've talked about it before on the podcast. It's like, you, as a musician, they want you to also bring the audience now, and that doesn't make any sense, because you play a show to gain an audience. You play shows to play to a room that that's already full of people. Did you guys hear that notification that just went up?
No.
Okay, cool. I'm just making sure here. I had a little note of like computer pop up here, but anyway, so they didn't vet the talent, it seems, and as a result, the way that everybody kind of suffers, and this is like a whole America, like blanket American problem, is that in an age with like a decline in interest um, about live music, at least local live music, um, it really seems like the cover bands and the tribute bands are getting like the favoritism, and it's not even like necessarily the best thing. Like I played this one show in a tribute act that was paying me, and we're playing at the Cubby Bear, so like right across the street from Wrigley Field. There was a game right beforehand, and freaking we're playing, and as soon as when we walk in to like load in and everything, there is there's a DJ playing, and it's like nuts to butts. It's like totally packed up in this club. And then as soon as they announce that like a cover bands are coming on next, everybody just fucking flies out the door. You know what I mean? And it's just like, so what are we doing here? Like when you could have like a fucking original artist, maybe they're not bringing the crowd, but like the crowd is right there. You know what I mean? It's about retaining them and keeping them there. So like personally, I think it's an issue of like not curating it a little bit more. And if you leave it up to the audience, what they want to hear is like a mix of covers and originals, and that I can understand. Because people also want to hear stuff that they know. But it's just like it's like if you don't, like you were saying, like if you don't know anybody in the scene, it's really hard to like integrate yourself to these gatekeepers, and then it's like what is this favoritism that we're favoring? Because if you're not producing quality acts, it's one thing to like know somebody and like be a quality act, and then be able to give them the floor, and it's like, oh yeah, this is great, they're fucking, everybody's happy. But it's a completely different thing when like it's just fucking like bunch of these dudes fucking getting up there and fucking like corny looking guitars and fucking khakis and fucking, you know what I mean? Like nobody's looking like they're there to play a show. They looking like they just got out of a 9 to 5 office job, and it's like, what the fuck are we doing here? You know what I mean? So
That's
I
kind of
That's
I
kind of what
can.
we're trying.
Oh,
Um,
sorry. I was just gonna say I was gonna give you the floor here. Sorry, I can kind of go on sometimes, but from what I can see from like your pictures in that is that you guys put on a decent show. You're very involved with like your songwriting. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy to have you guys here on the show, and I mean, I hope that some promoters get wind of what we're saying here and like kind of like, oh, well, maybe we should have a little bit more of the quality. Elysium Nights.
so,
How you
so
doing?
that's actually what we're trying to change because we throw shows. We're promoters ourselves, and we're posting the flyer tonight. We're actually having a Halloween music festival, and like I'm from the south suburbs. I'm
Uh-huh.
from a town called Lockport. If you know where that's at, it's around Joliet.
Yes.
We're actually throwing like a spooky Halloween music festival, and it's all original music. And
Oh, that is so
I post
sick.
I posted it in the Lockport Facebook group. Got like 120 likes. Like everybody wants it. Everybody's sick and
Yes.
tired of these cover bands. Everybody needs something new and something fresh, and that is what we're here to deliver. So the era of the cover bands is on its way out because us
Yeah.
younger people are coming in, and we're gonna change the fucking game. Let me tell you. Like,
I gotta give a credit to like this next wave, because it feels like the people. I was born in '96, so I mean, fucking I feel like the people that are in my age, it's like I don't know if they just like lost hope or what, but I just feel like my wave of things was the one that was very like, well, how are we gonna make our bottom line? You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, yeah, but like in order to reap rewards, you have to be willing to take risks. And it's a double-edged sword. And I mean, like I mean, it's a very interesting experience for you guys to be throwing shows, and I would very much like for you guys to kind of delve into how you got started doing that, because I think that is an innovative approach. My brother always told me, and he's really good at throwing shows, but he's more of like an EDM guy. He always told me that you know the next wave of people, like the people who really truly end up making it are the ones who are able to kind of throw shows on their own terms. So like, I mean, how did you guys like, what was the first show that you promoted? How far have you come with that? Because that's not
Um,
easy. I've tried many times.
It was last like we did a show, a Halloween show. Like it's called Spookesium. We did it as a
Mhm.
show last year at my place, Ohio, and
Uh-huh.
it kind of like caught on. A lot of people came to it, and we just decided to take the idea and see where we could run with it. And like we told each other it would be a festival, and then a
hmm.
year later, we're making it happen. So
it's
yeah.
it's really cool too, because like out in Oregon, that was kind of the only way that I could make anything happen, was to like just do it myself. Like
Right.
rent a venue, pay out of pocket, do whatever, because otherwise I'm on a card with 30 other people, like not getting any
Right.
attention. And then when we threw our show in Oregon last year, it was killer. It was super good. And then
Yeah.
she was just gun ho, like ready to go. And
I
like
have a degree in strategic communications, which is basically like social media marketing. And so
Okay.
like I know how to make connections like really really fast. And I know what language to use to get like, you know, venues or like other promoters to like, catch on. So,
Yeah.
she was the perfect, like literally the partner that I've been looking for forever when it comes to like
Right.
not only love, but like the business side of things. Like I've needed a person to be in my corner ready to like just go for it, and that's
Yeah.
all we've done quite literally since day one.
And I mean, not even kind of like limiting, like for all the other people that are out here listening, because I also do things with my girlfriend as well, and we kind of like have that relationship in terms of like kind of bouncing stuff off of one another, and kind of, you know, her weaknesses are my strengths, and my strengths are her weaknesses, so we kind of complement each other in that. But I have got to say, like, it's really important to, again, to everybody listening out there, it's really important to be able to find people that have, what you're missing, because you're never gonna have everything. You can try to learn to play everything. You can program everything yourself. You can record everything yourself, but there's always gonna be like a weakest link in your in your armor, in your skill set, and it's like, I'm glad that you guys found that, because not everybody does. And I mean, when you're trying to work without that crucial component missing, it's really difficult to like move everything forward. So, I mean, the message that I have for everybody else is like, be willing to work together, because I feel like the way that the music industry has kind of like what it has become, if it was not always this way in general. I mean, it is definitely apparent to me now that it's like very shisty, and it's always everybody out for me, and it's like, when you take that approach, I mean, you're forgetting the main fundamentals of business, and that is making connections. That is nurturing relationships. You know what I mean? If you burn every bridge as soon as you make it, then what are you're not building shit. You're just leaving a trail of destruction in your wake. So I'm glad that you guys have that skill set. And because I mean, I personally, I'm the introverted fucking musician to a T. Like, I'm great at when it comes to like producing, engineering, and all that other kind of shit. But I mean, where my girlfriend comes into play is kind of in a similar facet. Um, and I just gotta say, once you find someone, whether that relationship is romantic or not, you know, be true to that, and learn that. you're always stronger together. So whether it comes down to a band or a duo or anything like that, I mean, I think you guys have like the right mindset, or at least you're going in the right direction because it's like a complementary kind of system. So, I mean, where do we even go from here? What have your main struggles and points of contention been in like the in the music industry? Like what have been your gripes? What is the thing you're most trying to overcome? We talked about the gatekeeping, but how do we expand from there?
So we were in a contest about a couple weeks ago, and it was basically judged off of like crowd control and like stage presence, and we brought a lot of people in. Like I think it was like us and one other band that like brought in the most people. And like our stage presence, like we take pride in our stage presence. Like we really we go hard on stage. We make sure and like we didn't end up winning, and it was because we were told like it was the wrong genre. But like they advertise that it's all genre. So like I don't know, just like the false advertising that's in a lot of the industry, like a lot of false promises. Like that's something we're trying to change because we really do care about the artists that we work with, and we really treat them like family. Like I said, like our next show, like it's gonna be like we're calling it a family function. Like
Yeah.
Nice.
like we're just trying to like create a community where everybody can feel safe and not feel like their art or their story is like just being used for profit. Like we really care about these artists. So
And obviously, it's the music industry I mean, it's music business is a business. So yeah, obviously everybody wants to make money, but this is one of those few kind of industries where you can just have a good message and a good time and cultivate a sense of community with other artists who are who have like-minded values, and everybody can thrive. Like, is if you look at like and I talk about this all the time because like I mean, obviously I have to work a job. I mean, most musicians do, especially this day and age when it's so you know, it can be difficult to fucking monetize on social media. They just move the fucking goalposts. So, I mean, that is what it is. But it can be so difficult to really fuck. I forgot what I was talking about. Sorry, neurodivergent problems. What was my first point here? Where did I start? Sorry about it.
it's important. It's just important to like create a community
There
around
you
like,
go.
especially if you're somebody like us who throws their own shows and has their own community. Like you have to just honestly like it's common sense. Treat people with respect and treat people with kindness. We really don't see that enough in the music industry right now. So that's
Yeah,
something we're trying to change.
Dude, and on
yeah.
our last show that we did, we had an experimental like a shoegaze artist, we had a hip hop artist, we had an indie pop artist, we had like anybody and everybody is welcome at a night's show. Like that's kind of the thing that we're trying to push past is that like everybody's art deserves to be heard, like no matter what.
And the other thing is that, like, if you look at the way that, like, all music is kind of heading, it's all like a kind of like a hodgepodge and a blend of everything because it's like everything has already been done to a certain extent. So now it's kind of like, how can you put it together in a way that, for one thing, it's turned the artist into the genre. So you have all this freedom to kind of make it your own little world where you explore all kinds of different shit. But so like now it's not so much about like what genre is gonna be the next big thing, but like what artist is gonna reinvent the wheel, so to speak, to kind of make it um like twice as interesting to listen to as the stuff that came before. So it's not going to be, I mean, just pop punk, or you know what I mean, or rock or something like that. It's going to be like the hybrids of like this mixed with that and that mixed with this, hip hop mixed with rock and rock mixed with house and like all those sort of things because at the end of the day when people go to those shows, they want to party. They want to have a good time. They want to see some shit that they haven't seen before and that can come in a variety of different ways. But you have to be willing to have people on there that are experimental and trying to push the envelope. And you don't get that when you fucking throw 20 bands on a stage and nobody gets like damn near any time to fucking like showcase their stuff and they're rushed off by the fucking the sound guy because he's got like 19 other bands that he's got to fucking put up for. And I mean, I really hope the thing that you guys do differently than shows have been done the last, I mean, fucking decade plus is like at least giving them like a longer set length, like 45 minutes or something like that. Because like I always I always fucking like I always hated the fucking tight 30 kind of thing because like 30 minutes, they give you like 30 minutes in total, and then it's like it takes 10 to set up and 10 to tear down if you're really fucking fast about it. And then, everybody's looking at you weird because like, oh, like I'm trying to get my time, bro. It's like there's not enough time to really fully like appreciate the fucking art or let anybody kind of breathe on stage. And when you step onto the stage, to start your show, start your performance, like this is your moment. And there's kind of like it's I'm not sure where you guys are at with like touring, but I once you get to that kind of that level, you'll notice there's a lot of people out there who kind of just kind of like selling it to themselves and like they'll play these 30-minute shows and like they won't even have enough time to like fucking limber up or loosen up. It'll like it'll be like, all right, that's the last song. And you're like, what? I just fucking got started. Like, you know what I mean? So that extra 15 minutes goes a long way in changeovers, and it also goes a long way. I mean, if you just do a full hour, like, because I mean, you got to think about how are you going to get people out there, right? Because even if you're even just talking about like a regular bar, like if I know you're only going to be playing for like 30 minutes, it's kind of it de-incentivizes me from wanting to come because it's like, bro, like you got up there damn near as fast as it took for you to play the show. So like, what if I'm stuck in traffic? You know what I mean? Thinking from like a fan first perspective, like, what if I'm stuck in traffic and I just missed half the artists I came to fucking see? Like, you know what I mean? It's really bothersome and it's really just kind of disingenuous to the artist. And I'm really glad that you guys kind of brought that up, and I'm glad that you guys are doing what you're doing. It sounds like you guys have a good head on your shoulders, and I really do think that you guys are gonna have a lot of success because of the mindset when it comes to community. Because again, you meet a lot of people in this industry, in this business, that are like me, me, me. What can I get out of you? And it's like, well, I mean, it's a give and take. It's a give and take, and you also have to deliver, you know? So, I mean, hats off to you guys for doing that because not a lot of people are doing it, and the ones that are, like, have a lot of trouble with it. So, like, the fact that you guys are, you know, really kind of, like, making more meaningful kind of like performances, more meaningful kind of like fests, and making a community out of it is like, I mean, fucking
We
salute
appreciate
to you
it.
guys. Yeah, of course. So what obviously we talked about the fest. So definitely give us some insight into that. But what is the next song you guys are releasing?
So
We actually just had one drop yesterday.
yeah, it's called Groove This Way, and like it's a disco style song.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
We really love that one. We literally were just I like what you said earlier about like happy accidents, and that was just a happy accident. Like we were in the
Yeah.
kitchen cooking, and we were just talking about like, older music, like retro, like 70s, 80s music that we like,
Mhm.
and we started listening to disco songs, and then we were like, you know what?
Oh yeah.
Let's see if we can make a disco song. Then we listened to some disco beats, and we literally had something within like an hour.
And it's also another one of those tracks that's like there's hip hop elements, there's pop elements, there's disco elements, there's everything.
It's just kind of our sound.
Like we just heard the beat and literally in maybe an hour
We
the song was
recorded it
done.
that night, like
Like,
Oh
literally
yeah.
after cooking.
it took us it literally took us an hour and it was done. Like
Those are the best songs though. Like when you just kind of tap into that flow state and like it starts with the beat and then you're just like, "Oh wait, hold on. Let me cook."
yeah,
And I mean that both literally and figuratively because you
that's
said you
that's
guys were
I
in the
mean it's
kitchen.
true. That's exactly what we were doing. And
Yeah.
but on that same note though, like Maddie said earlier, our EP is dropping on the 24th.
On that
So
May 24th?
yeah, May 24th. It's going to be our
um it's self-titled, and we're dropping it on our 1 year anniversary. So the show before, the night before, is gonna be like an EP release show. We're gonna play that
Nice.
to everybody, and that has a lot of like lo-fi hip hop type shit, like lo-fi indie pop hash slash hip hop. I can't talk today apparently, but
All good.
um yeah, it's got a lot of those elements. It has like the disco song. We also have like a slower song on there that's really good. I have a guitar solo in
we got
it.
a
Nice.
we got an indie song on there, Kiss Me Slow. We got a lot of like ethereal pop. We got a hard rap song on there.
hmm
Like
Nice.
we just kind of over the last like 6 months have just been putting stuff together, and like this was always the goal, was to drop an EP on that same day. So
So
we
how
made
many
it.
songs are going to be on this EP?
I
Because
believe
because by the time this episode comes out, it will have already been released.
Oh yeah,
I believe seven,
So
right?
I think it's 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
6 or 7. Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
I
That's
mean,
solid.
yeah.
Yeah, you gotta. You guys, do you guys shoot for like a typical song length, or do you guys kind of just let it kind of be whatever it is?
Honestly, it's just however we feel the song should be, like
hmm
however long it should be.
Sometimes you can just sometimes a song like sounds amazing and is super entertaining. You don't even realize it's like 4.5 minutes,
Yeah.
and then sometimes a song feels perfect at a minute 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it really just all depends on what you're feeling. I think Groove This Way was like 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, something like that.
Like
Yeah.
it fit perfect. And then we have a song, Fuchsia Nightmares, one of our like
Fuchsia
favorite.
Nightmares.
Yeah, that
That's what
one's
it's called. That shit sounds that sounds sick, man. I like that name.
that one's on all platforms. It's on the Honda Vixen EP.
hmm
It
Awesome.
it's it's like 4.5 minutes, and like we perform it all the time, and it doesn't feel like 4.5 minutes,
Yeah.
like
I feel
at
like
all.
that's how you know you did something fire. That's how you know like you were cooking it up is when like it feels like no time at all. You
Yeah, well,
know?
when we just got off of a tour last month, the or 2 months ago now, the Blur the Lens tour. It was our first like tour by ourselves, and we did a lot of like pre-mixed sets where like all of our songs just played back to back to back to back to back, like almost like a DJ set.
Right.
And that's Fuchsia Nightmares had been out at that point for a while, and
Mhm.
I didn't realize until then, like, whoa, this song's 4.5 minutes long. Like
Wow.
Honestly, I didn't realize it till now.
we perform it all the time, and it's perfect. Like
Yeah.
it fits the vibe. We cover all the bases that we want to cover. It's a great song. Like it's I love it. It's one of my favorites.
So let me ask you about how did the blurred lore I can't even talk either. Um how did the blurred lens tour go for you?
It went amazing.
So good.
Like so
So
where did you guys I take it you guys maybe like started in Chicago? Like what did
yeah,
you
so we started in Chicago. We went up to Wisconsin. We played Madison and Milwaukee. Those shows were interesting because Madison, I was really really sick.
We both were
Oh.
We
crazy
were both
sick.
were
Whenever
all
you
the
go
stuff
up
we did.
north like that, I feel like it just hits you like no matter where it is in the year sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Um,
then we also did we did Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids, and Detroit.
sweet.
Those shows went nuts. Like those
Yeah.
shows, people filled those shows at every single one of them, which we weren't expecting at all
Mhm.
because it's our first tour, which we booked ourselves too. So like
Right.
we really were just taking a gamble on that. We were like, if
Right.
nobody comes, we'll just jam out and
Yeah.
play a show in Michigan. But like,
Right.
like literally, I think our favorite show of the tour was Kalamazoo because it was like a basement show, like in a DIY venue, like a basement show,
Yes.
and like 50 people came to it at least, like 50 or 60 people, and like in that basement it just packed out. Like you really couldn't. When I was up there I could maybe see like the first 10 people, but that's
Yeah.
about it.
You know, I always have been trying to find an environment for my music like the one I came up in. So to preface this, I went to when I was I don't want to say like 12, 11, 12, 13, around that age was when I started getting into my first bands, and the first band that I was ever in was in uh, a fucking trash band called Edge of Attack. But the drummer now manages tours for like national hardcore bands like Volumes, Veil Maya, August Burns Red, like the fucking the big guys of death metal and hardcore music. Um, and my sister also went to school with Born of Osiris, which is from the Palatine Northwest suburbs area, and so the drummer in this band, EJ, he would throw shows like that. He taught me kind of like everything that I knew about marketing in that era. Unfortunately, it's kind of obsolete now. But yeah, I mean, he would throw these DIY basement shows and there would be like fucking just so many people there. Like at one point he was like charging admission, but he got shut down by the cops for doing that
Mhm.
because you know what I mean? Like it's fucking if you're charging admission and shit like that, people are getting into shit, people are doing this, people are doing that. But it was kind of like the wildest kind of experience. And I've always been trying to like find my way back to that. So like to kind of tie it in with like what you guys are saying here, like I do gotta say, like, to everybody out there, if you have a chance to play any kind of DIY basement show, like go for it because you know that you're gonna have like a more authentic connection. You're probably gonna be treated a little bit better to a certain extent. I mean, obviously, I'm sure that comes down to whoever's throwing the show, but I mean, I've never had a bad experience at a house show. So it is definitely like food for thought if you're thinking about doing it. I mean, try and
Do
get
it.
those on
Don't
your
even think
tour,
about
on
it.
your this. Yeah, don't even think about it because
Dude,
that is a no-brainer. You're
I
gonna have go
like
oh go ahead.
the venue that we played in Kalamazoo. Shout out to them, like for
I think they're
real,
called the Rabbit Hole now, but when we went there it was called Second Impact. Dude, it was
dude. For
so
one,
cool.
the environment that the host had created was perfect. Like
Yeah.
so cool. There was so many different people there, all under one roof, just wanting to have a good time. And
Hell
like
yeah.
that's like the biggest joy you can get as a musician when
Right.
like your crowd's just there to have a good time. And
Right.
like, dude, everybody was so friendly and so nice, and like everybody else that played on that show was super good,
Uh-huh.
and like 100% could not recommend that venue more if you're out in the middle of Michigan.
So
Like,
I real quick, not to cut you off, but I really want to touch on like how you guys said you were building your sets on these tours because I'm kind of like reshaping my own kind of methodology here. Traditionally, I'd always want to play with like a live band, but not always do I find myself in the spot where the gig calls for that. So like I mean what I've done in the past is I just kind of like take a blank project file and whether it's like Logic Pro or GarageBand or whatever, I just take like the backing tracks and then like throw them in a project file and then have them go like one after the other. Do you guys notice that like you need more space in between songs, like for like banter or maybe some technical setup things? Maybe you're tuning a guitar or something like that. Like what have you guys done in your shows that worked? What have you done that didn't? And like how are you gonna do it differently on the next tour?
So, I do have a section in the show where I play a couple of guitar songs, so we always try and leave space for that. And
Uh-huh.
then we also like to kind of alternate in between like our stuff together and then like our solo stuff because we do everything on stage together. Like
Right.
even our solo songs. So like a good way to do it is we like to like alternate our solo stuff with our like stuff together. So like
Okay.
even though it goes one after another, like one of us could take a break if another person's song is playing, and or one of us could hype the other person up, or
Right.
we all have like we both have a wavelength when we're on stage. That's like hard to describe, you know.
Right.
There's everything is definitely like very detailed and like done for a reason, I would
Yeah,
say. We also
Right.
have a lot of like in a lot of our music there's a lot of like intros, like just
Uh-huh.
instrumental intros where you can talk over it or hum, do a new harmony or a melody or something, in that beginning spot. And I think that has also helped a lot too. But like we also plan out like certain moments in the set. Like I'll say like, okay, we're gonna go from this song to this song. It's a 4 count in between. Is that enough time? We test it. It works. All right, let's run with it. Or like I'm gonna
Okay.
cut the beat here and just do it a cappella and then have the beat come back in here. Does it work?
Right.
It does. All right, let's run with it. Or like she said, we leave a 5, 6, 7 minute gap in between so that she can jam out on guitar. I make sure that the song before her gap is a solo song of mine, so that she can come in and harmonize if she wants. But if there isn't time or she needs to set up a guitar or whatever, I'm the one that's going to be on stage for 3, 4 minutes by myself, and vice versa. Same goes. If I need to prepare for something, her song comes first.
Right. Okay. All right. So you kind of bounce off of each other just based on like, what the moment that you're planning calls for. Like what you're trying to do in the moment, like how you're trying to work the crowd, how you're trying to. So that's good food for thought. Like honestly, I've been kind of you know, it's different when you have like a live band like right there with you because like the thing is a lot of times I find that my guys kind of want to just kind of like fucking like all right one after another, let's go, and I'm like, no guys, you gotta like there's like a whole fucking thing to this. Like you have to actually kind of work the room and kind of build anticipation. You gotta like, you know what I mean, have certain moments that you hold out, and some you gotta plan shit that you're gonna do live so that it kind of it is the promotional banner for your shit. You know what I mean? If you play a show and you know what I mean, you just play everything exactly like the studio version. Like, well, there's no okay, so I might as well just pop on your fucking shit if I wanted to listen to it. What is kind of engaging me in this moment to make it larger than life. So I think the way that you guys are approaching that is one that I haven't even kind of like started to really dig into just yet. So like definitely thanks for kind of sharing a little bit of your process with me on that.
Yeah, I also would say we also never try to give the same performance twice.
Yeah.
Like this girl can hit some runs sometimes that like will just put freeze me on stage like
Yeah.
whoa, oh my god. Like and it's just like I'll try to find new cadences to rap or sing in or like whatever it may be. Like just so that like if you're coming to an Elysium night show and you've seen us perform once, it's not going to be like seeing us perform the time that you saw before.
Yeah. Like we always try to switch it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So here, we've got about 10 minutes left. So go ahead and talk a little bit more about the EP that'll be dropped at this time, and also, remember to send me the link so I can put them down in the description for everybody as soon as this as soon as I schedule the podcast and everything. But May 23rd, you said, right?
May 24th is when the EP comes out,
Okay.
and May 23rd is the show. Actually,
Okay.
I guess you could technically say it because it comes out
Yeah.
at 11, but like,
I guess technically it's 11 p.m. on May 23rd.
yeah, but May
But
24th is the official date.
it's also funny enough, the our anniversary date is my first EP, my first solo EP's like 6-year anniversary, and like did not do that on purpose at all. So it's like
Wow.
I'm really excited to now have like not only a solo project but a joint project that I get to celebrate on that date. Like,
Well, I gotta say that that's another way in kind of like the way the music industry is heading, because I've also kind of needed to do that like myself, and I know a lot of other people that are kind of like, splitting up their projects in that way, and then also kind of like bringing them together like that, and it's like the definitive qualities that seem to be um granting success, not granting success, but like the definitive qualities that people are kind of encompassing when they what's going on. I'm still in the middle of it, sorry. uh the essentially the qualities that people kind of retain that kind of lead them to success is being able to kind of take a little bit of everything, mix it all together, and then also kind of like start their own label and have a couple of different kind of things that like are integrated in the way that you're saying. Like, I mean, for instance, I mean, I've got, my metalcore shit that's under Del Jones, and then there's, the hybrid rock hip hop house shit from PunkBordello. It kind of ends up just turning into a fucking funny excuse for a punk band, but you know what I mean? Nothing wrong with that. You just get to experiment and shit. But it's like it's all underneath like kind of they interact with each other, it kind of gives us the ability to like hop on a metal show if we want to. It gives us the ability to kind of be a little bit more professional and maybe play a set of all covers just for the bag, you know what I mean? It gives us a little bit more of like wiggle room when everything is kind of so rigid right now that nobody's willing to kind of really give you like a good shot with good pay, like just right off the bat. It's become tougher in that kind of regard because everybody wants fucking numbers when it comes to social media. But I mean, numbers it doesn't seem to really be fucking mattering as much when it comes to like actually getting people to show. And the proof is in the pudding. Like, it's not always like translating. It really comes from like the real authentic connections that like you're able to make, like the ones that you guys have been making, because you've obviously been fucking doing something right. So let's fucking just put credit where it's due, because I'm still figuring my own shit out.
we just love this, man. Like, this is I've never had a backup plan. Like, this is we talk about it all the time. You have to be a little delusional to really want to do this. And like, I'm delusional enough to where like I have no idea how this is all going to work out, but I know it's going to.
Yeah,
It's not unfounded. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm probably said that fucking 20 times. I just get excited. I'm sorry about it.
you're okay.
But like that is you have to be delusional enough to think you can do it. You have to be a little bit delusional to be that bold to think that you of all people could do it. But you also have to be like kind of grounded in reality enough to like see when something isn't working. And I've met people who are literally just like so delusional to have like the right answer like right in front of them, and then they turn left anyway. And it's like, bro, I thought you said you wanted to like actually do this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't explain it any further than that at this point in time right now. But is there anything else that you guys wanted to plug or talk about? I mean, I would say at least let me give us a little bit more information on the Halloween show that you guys are throwing.
Yeah, so the Halloween show is going to be October 4th at the Roxy Theater in Lockport. We have
Okay.
about 19 artists coming from the local area and 3 other states. So we
Oh,
actually have
okay.
people coming from Michigan, we have people coming from Nashville and Oregon. So it's going to be a night to connect and share everybody's like music. I did ask everybody like go to the darker, like spookier side of your discography. Obviously, it's a Halloween music festival,
Right.
and it's gonna be fun. There's
Mhm.
gonna be a costume contest. We're gonna bring that back this year, the $100 costume contest,
Nice.
and I really think like it's gonna be huge. Like I said, about like 130 people wanna already come to this from my town. So like,
That was in like a day too.
yeah, that was in like
Wow.
A day.
yeah.
Made
So
one post.
so like we're actually like bring in something like original music to this community, and it's what's been needed for a long time, like
I
a long
definitely
time.
agree. I 100% agree
So like if
because
nobody else is gonna do it, like we're gonna be the ones to do it. So yeah.
well, definitely I am rooting for you guys. I hope, we can all be rooting for each other in this scene. Um, but I mean, the proof is in the pudding. And at the end of the day, when you're cultivating a community, that how well you're doing is going to be judged on how well you are able to get people out and into the doors. So I mean, it sounds like you guys are doing really well. It sounds like you guys have kind of pinpoint your sound, your method, and I mean, I wish you nothing but the best. So thank you so much for coming on to the podcast and talking about it. Send me all your links so I can put them in the descriptions below, or the description below. And as soon as it is scheduled and put up on YouTube, I will send you guys a link for the premiere. And I'll also be sending you and tagging you in the little clips that I'm sure you guys have seen at this point. So, is there anything else you guys have to say before we sign off here?
um Genres don't matter.
Genres don't matter.
Hell yeah, I can get behind that. All right. Well, you guys take it easy, and thank you again so much for coming on the podcast. I really do
For having
appreciate
me.
it. Not everybody follows through on it, so I got to give credit where it's due.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, no, thanks for making it work, man. Peace out.
Have a good night.
You too.